Darren Keene in the 36, now in the 5th spot alongside Keith Donegan. Row 4 will be Calvin Ming and Jose Sierra. Row 5, Julian Vanderbilt from South Africa and Corey Enders from Texas. Field set coming through turn number 9 through 10. Here they come through turn 11. The left-hander leading onto the front straightaway. We get set to go to the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship, powered by Mazda. Green, green, green. All the drivers stabbing the loud pedal. Dickerson's going to try to take to the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Kyle Kirkwood to lead. Kirkwood from the inside of row number 2. Book it. He's through to the inside. Can they get through cleanly in turn number 1? 19 drivers here in the first rung of the Mazda Road to Indy. They tuck their way to the inside of the racetrack. It'll be a big run down the back straightaway for USF 2000, about 126 miles per hour top speed at the end of the back chute. They'll climb back on the binders. Michael, knock down the gears. Look at Dakota Dickerson. Try on the outside.
Boy, Dakota Dickerson got hung out there. Kyle Kirkwood with a great start as he tucked up underneath the rear wing of Dakota Dickerson. Made that pass into turn 1. Boy, you have all kinds of chaos going through turn number 5.
Remember, we're watching a couple of drivers come from deeper in the field. They'll be in smart early. That's Igor Fraga, the number 91 for Exclusive Autosport. Turned the fast lap in qualifying and then got into the wall in turn number 11. As such, bringing out the red flag, which again took away his fast lap. He ends up starting at the tail of the field, only had the one good lap. So keep an eye out for the black, red, and silver Exclusive Autosports machine of Igor Fraga. Out of turn number 11 for the first time. Kyle Kirkwood, your leader. Dakota Dickerson into second. Rasmus Lind in third. Kalen Frederick in fourth. And now, and I believe, is Jose Sierra up into the 5th spot. Great start for Jose Sierra up into the 5th position. Sierra for D-Force Racing made his debut here in the USF 2000 Series last year here in Toronto. He's been very strong thus far throughout the year. Couple of podiums already, looking for that first victory. Currently P5 for the Mexican Sierra.
I think Jose trying to make up for earlier today and certainly making the best of this first race of the race weekend.
Igor Fraga and Lucas Cole, the opening lap, up to 14th and 15th. Methodically working their way forward. Great run for both of those drivers. Got to be smart. Don't make any mistakes trying to work your way forward. Oscar de la Zuriaga having a tremendous run.
Oh, we have all kinds of chaos.
Contact, as we say, coming out of turn number 4. Driver to the wall in the exit, turn number 4, coming up to the Cooper Tire turn number 5. So driver off the racetrack, Michael, coming up the hill out of turn number 3. We'll try to see if we can't get a number for you on that car. But again, a driver off. That's the number 12 of Jose Sierra.
Yeah, I thought that was him.
Oh, no. Jose Sierra in 5th. This is going to be a full course yellow for sure. He's plastered to the outside of the racetrack. They haven't shown it yet here at start-finish. I'm surprised we haven't gone full course yellow yet, Michael. They're coming out of the final part of it. There we go, full course.
So what I think happened, Rob, Darren Keene went side by side through turn number 3. Keene went to the outside. Sierra was on the inside. And I think they went side by side through there. And when Darren Keene had that inside line, I would imagine he drifted out and just put Jose Sierra in the wall. That's my assumption. But again, we saw Jose Sierra side by side with Darren Keene, and that's probably what happened.
Narrow part of the racetrack. When you come out side by side at a turn 3, you climb back up the hill, and it's kind of working your way to the left. And we've seen it in every series. As they got back up there, you got to kind of kink back to turn 4, which is the left part of that racetrack. You get up to the top of the hill there, and you never know whether Keene was on the inside. Sierra obviously on the outside, but coming up there, all it takes is maybe Sierra pinching in. Keene can get into the wall because we see Keene's gone into pit lane as well on the number 36. Tough one for Darren, who looking for a good result. He finds himself in pit lane. But again, tough one for both of those drivers. Good to have the AMR safety crew out there to make sure that everything's okay with Jose Sierra. For a guy who was having a pretty good run and worked his way up to the 5th position, to see that all go for naught very early. Tough one for the young Mexican driver.
Yeah, as we were watching that field roll through, Keene went late into turn number 3, but was able to get side by side to Jose Sierra. And I just in the back of my mind said, boy, I hope those guys make it through. And when we saw that blue car up against the wall, I was like, boy, I hope that's not Jose Sierra. And indeed, that was the incident that brought out our first caution of this, the Cooper Tires USF 2000, powered by Mazda. Race number 1. Replaying the start of this race, Kyle Kirkwood couldn't have been any more into the gearbox of Dakota Dickerson. He was there and was able to dive down into turn number 1. That was a fantastic start for Kyle Kirkwood. This kid is just all kinds of talent.
You know, when you see these young kids come into this Mazda Road to Indy in USF 2000, they always come in with a different level of experience or pedigree. You get a guy like Oscar De La Zuriaga, only a couple of years in cars. Same thing with Russ McDonough. Not a lot of experience coming in to this first level. Well, then you get a guy like Kyle Kirkwood. He won the F4 championship last year, but he's got 10 years of top-level karting experience. This was one of the best kart racers in North America for a number of years in the junior and senior categories before jumping in. So you have that much experience, and you have the poise, you have the understanding of racecraft. One of the things that it gets preached to these young drivers all the time is patience. If someone makes a pass on you, there's no sense in forcing the order, trying to pinch them into the wall, trying to whatever to make them back out. They're not going to do that. And with these open-wheel cars, it's so easy to lock wheels or knock a corner off. We're not running the Porsche series where there's full body work, and maybe you can lean on someone a little bit more. You cannot do that in these open-wheel cars. You try to, and this is the result. If you're getting past, it'd be better to almost let the guy by. If he's made the move, if he's taken over the apex, give it up. Follow him and pressure him into the next mistake. There's always another battle around the corner.
Talk about Jose Sierra's day. He woke up in a great mood, starting 8th in this race, had issues in qualifying, now finds himself in the wall. So things went from good to bad to worse. Jose Sierra's machine.
There it is right there. You can see the damage. I want to say that's the right rear. Yeah, that's the right rear jammed up in the air.
I can't tell what that is. Those tires aren't supposed to be up in the air like that.
Yeah.
That's an odd-looking incident.
It's a large rear wing on that car right now. That's what it's turned into because the wing is gone. Man, tough one. Of course, the D-Force drivers, or the team rather, will get that car back. They'll strip it all down. They'll put new body work. They'll put new wing on it. They'll put new suspension on it.
That's the left rear.
Looks like potentially a right front as well. That's the left rear that's come up over to the right side. Yeah. So the left rear right up over top. Man, and one of the issues, of course, with significant damage like that to the right or the left rear of the car, any of the rear side of the car, is potential gearbox damage as well. When you hit that hard, you force the half shaft, drive the axle back into the gearbox, and that can obviously often be trouble.
Well, we're trying to see. Yeah, there's Keene. Let's see if there was any damage on that car. I think the full extent of that damage, as we see the speedy drive right there in turn number 3, the extent of that was the wall. They probably touched, and it just shot Sierra off. And
for Darren Keene, this is an opportunity to come in and use it as a test session for tomorrow, right? Get out there, run, get strong, get comfortable, make some changes to the car. At this point, he's, I believe, 2 laps down. He'll be 2 laps down, so there's no real chance unless there's some more carnage for him moving up in the points. Darren's a young driver I'd love to see back in USF 2000 for one more year. I think that he needs to – he was a top driver in karting. He used to win a lot of races. I think he needs to get a chance to run up front in the top 5. They made an engineering change recently at Newman Walks Racing, bringing in John Hayes. That has proven to be a pretty solid move thus far. The connection between the drivers and John has been good from what I'm told. They were looking for a great weekend here. And to be honest, Darren Keene's been good. He's been top 10, top 5, top 6 in terms of pace all weekend long. Just, again, running the battle for 5th. Contact he and Pepe. Jose Sierra getting together coming out of turn number 3. Pace car will duck on off. We're going to go back to racing here, Michael.
The key to this restart and what we'll need to watch is Dakota Dickerson. He was really dogging Kyle Kirkwood before that caution came out. Kirkwood has the field bunched up. The remaining machines, 17, make it through turn number 11, about to go back to green flag racing.
Oh, what a start for Kirkwood. Did a good run. Got the car rotated the way he wanted before he punched onto the throttle. They'll work their way down into turn number 1 now. And he holds the outside line. He knew he got a good start. No need to defend to the inside. We'll see some of that further back in the pack. But otherwise, everybody coming through cleanly. 2x2 deeper back. I want to say Igor Fraga trying the outside of Lucas Cole, but Cole and Fraga now 11th and 12th. Remember, they started dead last. We didn't bring this up, Michael, but that yellow flag so good for those 2 drivers bunching the field back up. Lucas Cole 11th in the 22. In the 12th spot, Igor Fraga in the 91. Good fight up there as Kalen Frederick trying to find a way by Rasmus Lint. He'll go to the inside in turn 5. That's how you get the job done.
Nice.
Book it. Kalen Frederick to the inside of Rasmus Lint in turn number 5. That's how you do it in 5. You have to own the apex, get it all the way into the inside of your competition.
We were talking about how Oliver Askew wasn't getting it done, how that wasn't the way to do it. Kalen Frederick just showed you how to get around somebody in turn number 5. Now watching Rasmus Lint, Dakota Dickerson battling there for the second position.
You saw there at the very bottom of the screen coming into turn number 9, Kalen Frederick having trouble. He's outside in. He's lost the groove a little bit. He's got Rasmus Lint continuing to push on him. Keith Donigan right up there in the 28 as well.
Yeah, Kalen got around Lint. That was a nice move.
Yeah, Kalen got Lint in turn number 5. Now, Donigan trying to get Rasmuth. They're going to work their way down the back straightaway. Good run here for both Daniel Frost in the number 7 and Oscar De La Zuriaga in 9th. Both those drivers from Singapore in the top 10 right now. Frost in only his 3rd start here in the USF 2000 program with Exclusive Autosport running in 7th.
Yeah, I thought Lynn would maybe fall back a little bit, but he's trying to get back around. Wow, drove it deep into the turn.
And he went a little too deep. They're going to be side by side coming up, and it's an over-under for Frederick. He lost a position for about, 50 yards potentially, was able to go back under as Rasmus Lint fully committing to the inside of that line going through turn number 3, pushed a bit wide. And, that's it. Kalen Frederick showing his experience here, his 2nd year in the series, just got off the gas, released the brake, tucked the car back to the inside. He was the first one over to turn 4.
Yeah, I think Lint really is the driver to watch. I think he did a good move by allowing Kalen Frederick to get around him last time around. For Kyle Kirkwood, about a 3-car length advantage this time by over Dakota Dickerson, but Lint still wanting to get back around Kalen Frederick.
Here's a fantastic battle coming out here right now. This is tremendous. Colin Kaminsky, Russell McDonough, and then a couple of the Pelfrey cars, Julian Vanderwatt and Kyle Kaminsky, or rather Kyle Dupel. These guys are having a great battle. Vanderwatt went to the inside, I believe, of McDonough to get the position. Then Kaminsky went back to the inside of McDonough in turn number 9. Great racing just outside the top 10. But again, Lucas Cole in 10th, Igor Fraga 11th. We're watching them again. As
Rasmus Lint wants to get around Kalen Frederick. He's really trying to set him up. Again, I think a very smart move, he allowed Frederick around, gave him that turn 5, knowing he had to think a quicker car. But as you attested to a little bit earlier, let that guy have that corner and then get him back.
Get
Smart.
right back at it. We're still watching the advancement of Lucas Cole and Igor Fraga, both of them able to go by Oscar De La Zuriaga in turn number 3. So count Lucas Cole to 9th, Fraga to 10th, La Zuriaga back to 11th, his best run of the 2018 season. Good job for Oscar. But again, Cole and Fraga on the move forward. We've got 7 laps down of what will be a 20-lap race, not even to the halfway point here, a 40-minute event. Still over 27 minutes, so long way to go here in USF 2000. And we got to keep an eye on this battle for 3rd. Kyle Kirkwood and Dakota Dickerson have pulled away nicely, but Kalen Frederick just turned the fast lap of the race. He's 0.2 quicker than the leader, back by over 2 seconds. The battle, though, Frederick, Lint, and Donigan for the final positions. Who's going to be there in the top 5? But again, don't count out Igor Fraga and Lucas Cole. They're coming to the front as well. If they could get a yellow, that would be huge for them, but again, most of the drivers playing nicely thus far, Michael, kind of settling into the position. Yeah,
Fraga and Cole are going to need that caution, as you said, just to get them back in touch with the leaders. They have really quick cars, but when you're marred that deep in the field, every person you pick off is going to take a little longer as you work your way towards the front. But indeed, they're so far behind right now that caution would be a huge asset.
Lucas Cole less than a second behind Corey Enders in the D-Force Racing blue and white entry. Enders in the 11, Lucas Cole in the black number 22, closing right up now. He'll try to make a move here pretty soon as they come onto the front straightaway. Through turn number 11 and 12. Oh, big slide there for the number 92 of Daniel Frost, almost into the wall. Wow, Daniel Frost, number 92, got all sorts out of shape coming out of turn number 11. Did a good job to keep that under him. He's really hustling the car, Michael. He got loose on the exit as well of turn number 1. Daniel Frost in the 92. He may be pushing this car a little over what it's capable of doing right now because he was all crossed up in 11, all crossed up in the exit of turn number 1. Young driver, 16 years of age, running in the 7th position. Hopefully he won't throw it away, trying to overcook the car, but Frost pushing very hard now.
It's a good battle. We are talking about the positions 3 and 4. Kalen Frederick, Rasmus Lint. Frederick around Lint, turn number 5, about 3 laps ago. Lint still extremely quick, but allowing Frederick to gap him about 2 car lengths or so. But I think those two drivers very in touch with each other. Rasmus Lent trying to get back around Kalen Frederick. And I will say Kyle Kirkwood has not checked out from Dakota Dickerson, although he gained about a car length or two that time by. Dickerson doing a good job trying to keep in touch with the leader.
I think Dickerson's closing up on him. Last time by, Kirkwood setting the fast lap of the race at 111.5. Yeah, he was able to stretch away by about 0.3 of a second. Rasmus Lent now with a quick lap. Those tires starting to come into temperature here for the Coopers. And again, as we go through this session, you remember they keep burning fuel. The car gets lighter. When you're down on the fuel load, it gets a bit lighter. When the tire max meets the fuel load, that's when you really start having a good runs. And again, Frederick running that inside line down to turn number 3 to try to hold off Rasmus Lent. Rasmus just needs to really show the patience here now. Try to force Kalen into a mistake or wait for the opportunity to come. You don't want to get too over aggressive. Again, teammates, unwritten rule, don't take out your teammate. But both of these guys are racing to try to be on the podium and try to get wins. Rasmus will try a move here pretty soon if he doesn't pressure Frederick into a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, just one of those situations where I think Rasmus knows he has a better car. Keep those Cooper tires underneath you. Try it in one. Then try it again in turn number 3 and see what you can garner.
Precarious coming off at turn number 11, Michael. You never want to let that car drift out too wide. Another move for Lucas Cole and Igor Fraga. Fraga and Cole have been able to get by. They're now ready to go after Daniel Frost. So they're 8th and 9th. Remember, they started at the very tail of the field. What a run so far for those two drivers. Tremendous for both Cole and Fraga. Wow, I like to see these guys do that and work their way forward like this. This is a really good run. You know what? Great experience for both of those drivers, starting 17th and 18th, now up to 8th and 9th.
Towards the front of the field, Kyle Kirkwood, your leader. Dakota Dickerson, Kalen Frederick, Rasmus Lent. Donegan, 5th. Ming, Frost, Cole, Fraga, Enders. They are your top 10. So for Kyle Kirkwood, there you see the leader. Make his way through the turn 7 portion of this track. Dakota Dickerson, 0.8, actually a second behind last time. So Kyle Kirkwood starting to check out ever so slightly. But that battle again for third position, Kalen Frederick, Rasmus Lent. It was about a 0.2 of a second last time by. And boy, Rasmus Lent is there.
That's the fight we're watching for that third position. Once again, Kyle Kirkwood stretching that gap, 1.1 second. In fact, Dickerson quicker last time by a 10th. So Dakota not letting them pull away at this point. I'm going to watch that battle between Lucas Cole and Daniel Frost. They've got it down to 0.6 of a second. Daniel running some pretty good laps. He needs to make sure he's hustling that car a lot. When Lucas gets there, and Lucas will get there, he's got to make sure he doesn't make a mistake right now. He's got to be smart. Daniel Frost trying to have his best result of the year in that number 92 machine. Does not want to overcook it when Lucas Cole and Igor Fraga come knocking.
Rasmus Lent is giving his teammate, Kalen Frederick, all kinds of business. About a car length separates the two drivers running 3rd and 4th. Again, Kyle Kirkwood about a second advantage over Dakota Dickerson, and then that battle for Frederick and Lent, 3rd and 4th.
One of the key things, Michael, is remember Keith Donegan in the number 28 for BN Racing was right on the gearbox of Rasmus Lent for a lot of the early laps. He's fallen back by about 2 seconds. Rasmus not having to worry about anybody behind him now, right? He's able to focus fully on trying to get by Kalen Frederick. Doesn't have to worry about Keith Donegan. And then you've got Calvin Ming all by himself. Here we come now. Lucas Cole still trying to reel in Daniel Frost. Last time by for Daniel Frost coming across the line. His lap, a 112.4. Cole, 112.2. Fraga, 112.1. They're not running lead pace, but they are working a way to potentially get themselves into the top 7 or 8.
New fast lap, Kalen Frederick that time by, minute 11, 28.54. Teammate right behind him as they work their way through turn number 3. I saw Kalen Frederick really slip a little bit in turn number 8 when he came through last time. Really flat out, but boy, Lent is there.
Michael, last time by, we are across the halfway point. 13 down, 12 to go. Frederick, a 11.2, 0.3 quicker than the leader, Kyle Kirkwood. He's 2.4 seconds back. Frederick just 1.4 behind Dickerson. We may not be done for a battle for second.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I just visually see that gap closing there as Lent looks to the inside of his teammate, Kalen Frederick, through the final portions of this course. Out of turn number 11 they come. Kyle Kirkwood, Dakota Dickerson, that battle for third ensues.
Dakota Dickerson is just hoping that Rasmus Lint and Kalen Frederick continue battle it out to potentially hold him back. Lint has a look to the inside. He just reached that fast lap of the race. Rasmus did. He's going to start getting a little anxious. This last time by, 0.4 of a second faster than the leader. Rasmus Lint, the young Swede for Pabst Racing, fastest driver on the racetrack. When he hears that from his team, he knows he's got to go. He wants to get by. He can see Kirkwood up there. Lint's going to start getting aggressive. I think if he's able to get by Kirkwood, Rasmus Lint could challenge for the race win. Still, lots of time remaining in this race. 11 laps to go. Big sweep there for Lint coming out of 5. Lost the rear end a bit, and you can see how much gap he lost coming out of turn 6. Lost the car, a little bit of exit oversteer coming out of turn number 5.
Didn't lose a lot, though, but as you said, he did lose a little, as our top 4 are right there together. And indeed, Dakota Dickerson, that gap between he and Kalen Frederick has closed. And boy, Kalen Frederick has his hands full. He's battling his teammate behind him, trying to catch Dakota Dickerson, just using every bit of this racetrack, trying to keep that car up front.
Much different line coming through turn number 10 as well. He sweeps the car wider on the exit. Rasmus a lot tighter coming out, maybe setting up for an easier run through turn number 11, the left-hander. Okay, there's a pass there. Igor Fraga able to get by Lucas Cole. So the exclusive Autosport drivers now running 7th and 8th. Daniel Frost in the 92, Igor Fraga in the 91. Look at the lap time for Igor Fraga.
Wow.
That car's starting to come in. 1:11.784. He'll go to work trying to get by his teammate now, Daniel Frost in the 92. So Fraga continues his run from 17th now up into the 8th position.
I tell you, if Rasmus Lint can get around Kalen Frederick, I think he's got something for Dakota Dickerson. I think you're right. I think that could be a great battle for second, but the key is getting around his teammate. He settled in that time in turn number 3 and just followed his teammate high in that high line going into turn number 3. I think Rasmus Lint's going to try to make a move this time by. I think he's just trying to gather things up, get that rhythm again, and take advantage of his teammate here in turn number 1 and then again in turn 3.
And all over him coming through turn number 11 again. Length and a half back as they come into that corner. Rasmus gets a good run down here to 1. Not close enough, I think, to make the move at this point. This is where he needs to get the best run he possibly can coming through turn number 3, or turn 1. That's where you make the pass in turn 3. You've got to get out of turn 1 well. Not so much there. Kalen Frederick, a pretty good lap. A 10th quicker last time by. He stretches it to about 0.4 of a second. Rasmus in danger of potentially losing the draft on the teammate coming down. Not close enough to make a move at this point. Again, watch for this battle. We'll go to another camera. That's all right. I was going to say the battle for 7th between Daniel Frost and Igor Fraga is going to start heating up here pretty soon. Fraga quicker again by 0.3 of a second. He's only 0.3 back. So watch for Fraga to put himself in a position here momentarily to find a way by Daniel Frost. Here's your top 10, folks. We have now 9 laps to go. Kyle Kirkwood, your leader. Dickerson runs in 2nd. Kalen Frederick in 3rd. Rasmus Lint 4th. Keith Donegan from Ireland rounding out your top 5. Calvin Ming in 6th. Daniel Frost in 7th. Igor Fraga 8th. Lucas Cole 9th. Corey Enders in 10th. Julian Vanderwatt up to 11th. Oscar De La Zuriaga now 12th. Colin Kaminsky in 13th. Russell McDonough 14th. Bruno Tomaselli in the 15th spot. Kyle Dupel in 16th. Darren Keene in the pits. Came back out but went back into the pits. Officially classified 17th. Jose Sierra 18th. A no start for Max Peichel. Igor Fraga, indeed, able to make a move by Daniel Frost. So Fraga, count him now up into the 7th position. Fraga, an 1:11.9. See if that car continues to come in, because Fraga, he's about 5.5 seconds behind Calvin Ming. We're not going to go any further for Fraga. He'll be best to hold on to that 7th position, but nonetheless, Michael, from the issues that he had in qualifying, starting in the 18th position, yellow flags. Full course yellow on the racetrack. Something has happened. Somebody off.
Let's look to turn 8.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
Driver off in turn number 8. Wow. We have 8 laps to go, 16 minutes. Igor Fraga getting another shot at a couple more spots as we're going to stack them back up again.
That's just going to make Kalen Frederick and this Dakota Dickerson battle heat up. Add to that Rasmus Lint. Kyle Kirkwood pretty much in cruise control there for a moment, but battles for second, third, and fourth. That battle there, and then Igor Fraga now will have an opportunity to get around Calvin Mink.
I want to say that gets Corey Enders in the number 11. That's another one of the D-Force drivers. Enders, the driver, off. He was running in the 9th position. Rather, I think he was 10th. Corey Enders was 10th. That's going to put Vanderwatt up into the 10th spot. So Corey Enders in the D-Force car, coming off a great weekend down in Mexico, swept the finale for the F4 NACAM series. His first wins in an open-wheel car. Didn't go well here today. He was having a good run in the top 10. But again, we've seen a lot of drivers overcook it, Michael, into the turn 8 corner. There's a bump going in on the pavement. You get into that concrete patch. You lose all the front grip. And if you've carried too much speed, I don't care how much grip you have when you get to the other side onto the pavement, it'll just plow right into the tires. We've seen a lot of guys make that mistake here this year.
It's that "are you kidding me" moment. You're like, I don't want to use that runoff. I can make the
no,
yeah, and boom, and there you go.
Please, and then you're in the tires.
Yep.
Luckily, those tires are placed in exactly the right spot. We haven't seen a lot of drivers with much damage when they've gone in there, just some front wing damage.
Well, they know they're going to hit something, so just go right for those tires and go straight in. Exactly. So Kyle Kirkwood, P1, Dakota Dickerson, P2. Then it's Kalen Frederick, Rasmus Lint, Keith Donegan, Calvin Ming, Igor Fraga. So that battle for 6th will heat up as soon as we go back to green. And then watch out, Dakota Dickerson, Kalen Frederick, and Rasmus Lint. Those three are going to put on a heck of a show, that battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah, this just got really, really exciting. The drivers up front ready to battle it out. Again, we'll say hello to everyone around the racetrack enjoying themselves so far today, but also hello to everybody watching on RoadToIndy.tv. My name's Rob Howden, the voice of the Mazda Road to Indy, joined by my good friend Michael Young here in the tower, the voice of the Honda Indy Toronto. Michael, this is what we like to see in these events. This is... Nobody wants to see a yellow. Nobody wants to see someone get into an incident, but this stacks things up for what will be a wicked end to this race.
And you made the call about halfway through this race. Igor Fraga really needed a caution to help him continue his charge up front. This will bunch him back up. So, too, for Lucas Cole. He might get a chance to get around Daniel Frost, but put them back in touch with the front of the field, and that just puts the bit in the mouth again. And I know Igor Fraga is extremely hungry. I know he thinks he can get around Calvin Ming, but we talked about Dakota Dickerson and Kalen Frederick. That we saw Kalen Frederick closing on Dakota Dickerson, but he was all worried about his teammate behind him. It's just turned this whole race upside down. The complexity is going to be huge. These last handful of laps are going to be great.
I'd say that Dakota Dickerson potentially with an opportunity to go for the race win, but Kyle Kirkwood has been so good on the restarts. He's just handled them. He's managed it perfectly. He's got the great jump throughout the entire season. Let's not just talk about here at Toronto, but he's been able to come out at turn number 10 and 11 here and, man, just get that good run out, and there's no challenge in turn number 1 at all.
That car smooth out of turn number 11. He comes out, those hands are steady, and he just launches down that front straightaway where we'll see a couple of other guys just wiggle ever so slightly. And you're right, Kyle Kirkwood looks flawless when he comes out, not only here but this entire season. The young man does an amazing job, and especially on these restarts. We will hopefully go back to green. We will keep our eyes on that Mazda pace car. Working lap 20.
Still 6 laps to go, 12 minutes remaining.
That's just enough.
Oh, 20. I said 25 laps. It's actually a 20-lapper. We're not going to see it. They went to 20 laps. They went to 20 laps. This is going to end under yellow. We thought we were going to get a battle to the end, Michael. Are you as disappointed as I am?
All I have to say is, womp, womp, womp.
Oh,
yeah.
we've got,
man alive.
We've got 12 more minutes. Checker flag will fly. Oh, a 20-lapper. Oh, that's tough. But you know what? Really good racing and a really tremendous result. Kyle Kirkwood's won a bunch of races this year. This is, I don't want to say this all but locks the championship in, because there's only a couple more races. They do a triple header. I think there's 6 races left in the season. He's got such a massive lead in the points right now. He'll just have to kind of finish some races and be fine. But Dakota Dickerson, for him to be able to come back, he didn't start the season here. He's running at 4, an opportunity for him to run with Arms Up Motorsports. Dakota Dickerson pays them off with a second-place finish. And Kalen Frederick and Rasmus Lint, I like this little rivalry. The 2 drivers at Pabst Racing battling it out all race long. Kyle Kirkwood, though, getting the win in this race, finishing under yellow. as we will continue to work our way through the Mazda Road, Danny. But Michael, pretty tremendous run. Kirkwood, Dickerson, Frederick on the podium. Lint and Donig are going to round out your top 5. Got to give it up to Igor Fraga and Lucas Cole. Dead last, tail of the field, back to 7th and 9th, respectively.
I was most impressed with Rasmus Lynn, allowing his teammate, Kalen Frederick, did not battle him through turn number 5. Thought he'd be able to track him back down and get that position back, but a very veteran-like move for Rasmus as he and his teammate battled, but exciting nonetheless. Kyle Kirkwood.
Well, Kyle, another race, another win, your 5th in a row here. How was it for you, especially there at the start?
It was great. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be that easy going from third to first, just going down into the first corner. But I thought I was going to have to race a little bit harder, but it worked out perfectly. We had that one caution. I was able to get away from that. I mean, I didn't really have to race that much, and the car was hooked up perfectly with Cape Motorsports, and they had the car absolutely on rails, so I was able to just pull away and keep that lead.
Looking ahead to, you have 6 more races to go here. What's the outlook for tomorrow, given that you're starting, I think it was 5th?
Yeah, we're obviously going to have to race a little bit harder. I won't be able to get into first right in the first corner, but we're just going to keep pushing, keep our heads down. We started 4th at Road America, so we know we can do it, and we'll see what happens.
Looking back behind you, you got Dakota and Kalen, who've obviously been pushing pretty hard here. How rewarding is it to have a great finish like this ahead of those guys?
Oh, it's great. It's amazing. I know Kalen's been here before. I believe Dakota's been here before. And with no experience on the track, to be able to come out here and overcome those guys is really amazing.